The sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports page brought to you by Coffin and Lind Injury Attorneys. I think he's standing by for us there in the luxury condo. What's up, doggy?
What's up is, let's start with the Magic playoff update. The Magic did not play last night, but the New York Knicks played last night, and they lost to the Miami Heat 109-99. That means the Magic are now up tied with the Knicks for the 4 seed. Actually, they own the tiebreaker with the Knicks, so they're above the Knicks now for the 4 seed. They're 1.5 games behind the struggling Cleveland Cavaliers with 7 games remaining. So I'm studying the schedules here.
Well, they got the Pelicans tonight, right?
Yeah, the Magic have the Pelicans tonight. Their last 7 games. Pelicans, that's a possible win. At Charlotte, that should be a win. Home against Chicago. At Houston. Then they have at Milwaukee, at Philadelphia, which just got Joel Embiid back last night, and then home against Milwaukee. So those last 3 games, they've got Milwaukee twice, and then at Philadelphia. So those could be 3 tough games, but Cleveland's got a tough schedule, too. The Knicks look like they actually have the easiest schedule, but they're banged up right now.
Hey,
so
dog,
we'll see what happens.
I know that you're checking the whole schedule, but remember, with our Magic, it's 1 game at a time.
Oh, God. Okay. Mr. Cliche.
The sands of the hourglass. The sands of the 3-point bucket.
Wow. Caitlin Clark can now claim another record. The most watched women's college basketball game in history, the LSU-Iowa game, was the most watched men's or women's college basketball game ever on ESPN. Drew an audience of 12.3 million. That makes it one of the most viewed games in any sport other than the NFL over the last year. I was looking at some of these statistics. Iowa LSU outdrew all but one of the 5 games in last year's NBA Finals, along with every game in the World Series last year. Iowa LSU outdrew it. The game also outdrew every Major League Baseball game since Game 6 of the 2022 World Series between the Phillies and the cheating Astros. And Lynch, you're not going to like this. Iowa LSU women's game outdrew every NHL game in the past 53 years. So
he just had to take the dig at you.
Lightning, big game, important game tonight against Toronto. They come down the stretch.
I got to tell you.
Hockey fans, I try. I really do. And
back to Caitlin Clark.
She's amazing.
Is she the biggest attraction in all of sports right now?
Right now, I would agree.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
I mean, you just put out all those records. That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to buy a ticket to watch one athlete right now, one game, I would go watch Caitlin Clark.
Me too.
Obviously, the NFL is the highest rated TV sport, but the NFL you're paying for. You're watching teams more than you're watching players, right?
Maybe we, if you threw Messi in a promo somewhere with her, we could have some sort of super pay-per-view.
Oh God,
Messi, that's a good one. Messi, but I'm talking about in this. If you put Miami, Inter Miami, on national TV opposite Caitlin Clark playing for the national title, Miami playing for the MLS title, who wins that race?
You know it's going to be Caitlin.
I would think it'd be the basketball. Seriously.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Big news in the NFL and Major League Baseball. The future of the Kansas City Chiefs and Kansas City Royals could be in jeopardy because voters in Kansas City rejected a referendum yesterday for a sales tax measure that would have helped fund a new downtown ballpark for the Royals and major renovations for the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. We don't know what's going to happen now. I'm assuming they're going to stay in Kansas City, but we know how these stadium issues go.
But and especially now where every penny matters to people. So when you hear we're going to tax you more, the clause come out and you're like, I don't think so, man.
Right. That's why That's why we do have an advantage here in Central Florida because we have the tourist tax, which isn't a tax on us.
Yeah.
It's a tax on the tourists.
True. Very
now,
true.
There's a question whether that tourist tax should be spent on things other than sports venues and recreational venues, but at least the money's not coming out of our pockets. So
That's great, yeah.
So, what else we got? What else we got in sports today? If you guys haven't read this story about Anthony Kim, the golfer,
I told Pat.
Right. Yes, he spent 12 years away from golf, got hooked on drugs, he was addicted. Now he's back, trying to make a comeback on the LIV Tour. It's an unbelievable story. He talked to David Faraday, who's now, the commentator for LIV Golf. It's unbelievable. By the way, read my column in today's Sentinel. Speaking of LIV Golf, did you see what Chris DeMarco said?
What did he say?
He wants LIV Golf to buy the Champion Senior Tour so the seniors can make more money. I'm like, get away from me.
That Anthony Kim story, Pat, it is
No, it's good.
Wild.
It's good.
And with Faraday, he's a recovering alcoholic. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that interview was really good.
At one point, Anthony Kim had 6 dogs and 2 monkeys living with him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Those respects.
All right. With that, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. He's on adjacent to us, and he takes time out of his busy show to join us here on JRR for the sports page, brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday morning, 7:30, FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions of Under Oath by searching for Under Oath with Jeff Kaufman on your favorite streaming platform. Oh, oh.
Lynch and Taco. On demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.
From the